when TDCS devices uses headgear, right, it looks like a swim cap or a headband. And then when a power source is switched on, the electrodes deliver low levels of electric current to the brain. And the typical session lasts for 20 to 30 minutes and may be repeated over days or weeks. Now, again, there are multiple brain stimulation therapies. Yes, we can move to the next slide, please. But the main intention of all of these therapies is that we need to find out whether these headgears and the instruments available in the market are actually helping improve the performance or not. That is our main objective of collaborating with AI and using AI. Yeah, so as you can see, this is transcranial magnetic stimulation. This is a difference from TDCS. TMS is one which is used, which has been used a lot. A device worn over the forehead stimulates specific areas of the brain by changing near magnetic fields, and this is cleared by the FDA to treat depression that hasn't responded to standard medications and for OCD. And in this, what happens is an electric current flowing through electrode placed at specific locations of the scalp causes a brief seizure while the patient is under anesthesia. And it has been used in late 1930s. ECT can be highly effective, and I have seen personally patients where they has shown results with this particular thing. And now it uses, but the difference between this and TDCS, that's what we will see. It uses high levels of electric current than TDCS. That's why it requires close medical supervision. This EMS is usually given only in the clinics, but the specialty of TDCS devices is something where it can be given with minimal supervision, though it is presently being said that it has to be given in the clinical setup. Can we move to the next slide, please? So it is so TDCS. Yeah. So the brain normally functions how, as we know, it functions by sending and receiving tiny electric signals between right. Now, stimulating specific regions of the brain with lower levels of electricity might improve focus, memory, mood, or even TDCS. So what previously claims the TDCS have that it can improve mental clarity, focus, and memory, and increase energy and motivation, and relieve so-called brain fog, which, as we know, is very common nowadays, and reduce depression or anxiety, reduce cravings of some smokers or people with drug addiction. Even it says device addiction also can be improved with this, and improve symptoms of ADHD and Alzheimer's. So that's the main claim of the TDCS, for which research still needs to be done, and that's what my research aims at. Yes, we can move to the next slide, please. So this TDCS instruments have been around for a lot of time, but basically now what we are trying to see is that how we can use AI to find out whether these TDCS instruments can be get some hypothesis, frame the hypothesis, and find out whether this can actually improve the performance or not. For that, we need to involve the psychological tests along with the TDCS device ratings and all the experiments. So together we can combine and formulate our research hypothesis and find out the methodology that can use. So this is basically the objective, to find out if TDCS devices can be beneficial in the treatment of ADHD. There are many devices in the market, but most of them claim that more research needs to be done. Our research is to identify TDCS devices can be used for the treatment of ADHD, and not just ADHD. As I just mentioned, it is relevant in the many areas. Yes, we can move to the next screen, Sarah. Yes, so now the next one, I'll share the background how this particular thing came to my mind. This is of my personal interest because so this is a machine learning defining precision TDS for improving cognitive function. So as you can see, there's a lot of literature out there how machine learning combined with patient-specific MRI based on the models of the head is used to determine the electrode positions and current intensities to maximize the likelihood of treatment response by optimizing the induced electrical field distribution. As such, we need to combine an SVM model, a support vector model that was trained to predict treatment response based on the computational models of current density. So, for example, if in a current data set, as you see, there is n is equal to 14, then we will find out what are the weights of the deployed SVM were used in the different weighted Gaussian mixture model, or we can just experiment as to which other model is the most appropriate one for converting TDCS non-responders to responders by finding the most optimum electrode montage and applied current intensity for the